What will people say? You have to follow our culture. What will people say? You have to follow our beliefs. What will people say? You have to follow our values. What will people say? You have to follow our practices. What will people say? Will the people say? What will if you don't? What will the people say? If you don't, stick around to find out. Will the people say? If you don't, stick around to find out. Hi, I'm Kawera and welcome back to my channel. Yes, what will people say? That is one phrase that has been overused by humanity for thousands of years. I bet you that what will people say was the third phrase maybe one may have heard from their parents right from the start, right after mommy told the baby to call her mama and daddy requested the baby to call him papa. Then came the what will people say phrase. If you can't call me mama, if you can't call me papa, if you can't speak at your age when your age mates already are. You see, as I've stated a couple of times already, we all come from somewhere. We all have a background. We all have our people. We all have our way of life, our way of doing things, right? What we recognize as culture, beliefs, values, and practices. Right from the onset, before we could even speak, eat on our own, use the bathroom by ourselves, or even stand and walk. We knew that we came from a particular group of people who did things in a particular way, which is not a bad thing. Everyone needs an identity, right? But what about when this identity, this way of life, is pushed down someone's, how may I put it in a diplomatic way, is pushed down someone's throat? Or rather, I'm sorry, I don't know if that was the right term to use, when it is imposed on someone, when a particular individual is told that you can't do this because our culture doesn't allow it. No one before you has even ever thought of doing it, let alone mouthing it, expressing it, speaking it out loud. Who do you think you are to go against the grain? That's when we become a prisoner to our own, a prisoner to our loved ones, a prisoner to the things that we so deeply and dearly identify with. The things that we were taught. And you do know that culture does not change over time. It doesn't. You might tweak the language a little bit here and there. We have sheng, we have slang, which is the English version of Shen. You might tweak it a little bit, but you can't change the whole entire language. You can't come up with new words, new phrases, out of the blue. You can't scrap out everything. And the same applies to culture. In fact, I think that culture is the most static of all things. Beliefs also, yes. We are taught never to question scripture. Do what is commanded of you without question. Some most suffer in silence, yes, because you might come from a group that doesn't believe maybe in intermarrying with those out of their clan or out of their ethnicity. What if you go out there in your daily life, because we do socialize with diversity, with a multitude of people from all walks of life, and you happen to fall for someone who's not within your clan, within your ethnicity, who doesn't share the same beliefs as you, but you can do nothing about it because you're bound by the "what will people say" phrase. You'll become an outcast, the black sheep of the family, of the community. You can even get excommunicated, or in some cases, maybe even lose your life. What did you do? How did you overcome when you're a prisoner to that which brought you up, to that which nurtured you, to that which taught you, to that which gave you identity and validation? You have to listen, and listen keenly to what I'm about to say. Yes, nothing from outside, from without, can give you validation, can add value to you as a human being, can give you the title human. You are created human with or without the culture, the beliefs, the values, the practices. Yes, they are good because they give us a sense of identity and bonding as a community, as a group of people with similarities, with similar attributes, not only physically, but you see, even socially. But when it comes down to things that may hurt you as an individual, things that you question and wonder why, when only pain comes from this way of doing things, maybe it may have been justified as pain is a way of life. There can be no results, good results for that matter, without pain. So you have to follow this, right? You have to go by this. You have to deny yourself the satisfaction of exploring the alternative, the other, because what will people say? You will be a letdown. You will be an outcast. But sometimes the things that we are told go against the grain may seem very innocent. Why is it wrong to marry someone from a different group? After all, we all are human beings, right? But it might not be seen that way by those who've never questioned and who followed everything that was taught and told to them and indoctrinated into them to the T. That is when you have to try and open their eyes, right? Since yours are already opening and you're seeing that some of these things hurt more than they benefit anyone, really. It's just that everyone is afraid to point out the truth. You can be the one who goes about doing this, giving examples of how much maybe pain, suffering, desolation, and stress a certain practice or belief or value or culture brought not only to your family, to the members of your family, but to those around you, to your neighbors, maybe the members of your community. Maybe you can try being supple about it at first, because you will be met with because you will be met with resistance. You have to take it slow, you have to take it easy. Don't force anything on anyone. And if it's something that you can forgo, maybe you can just accommodate whatever it is that has been taught and passed down through the generation. If it doesn't happen to be something that is utterly maybe life-changing or life-threatening, yes, one step at a time, reasoning it out. Baby steps are what you require to get whatever it is that you may like to pursue out of the norm, out of your realm, out of your culture, beliefs, values, and practices. Change doesn't come overnight. You have to keep trying, and you have to be persistent, but in a supple, cunning, respectful, mindful, and reasonable way. If you liked the video, if you found it educational, informative, if it shed light to a few questions that you have within yourself but are afraid to voice out, maybe you can even try showing someone who's adamant to changing their ways, or to allowing you to change some of the ways that were taught to you that you may deem harmful to yourself and to those around you. This video could help. Yes, and many other more videos out there. You just have to do your research, find ways of opening eyes and ears, and most of all, most importantly, hearts. Because everything when it comes to interaction, socialization, and human nature is psychological. Yes, people may get your point, but they may not be open to it. They may be closed in and reject it, and that may cause them to lash out in ways that may not be kind and friendly. So be careful as you go about your endeavors in trying to change, tweak, and maybe alter a few things here and there for a more satisfactory life. Share the video widely. Yes, many people out there need to hear this message, because every one of us struggles with a thing or two that we were taught from childhood, but we may want to drop in adulthood or not follow exactly to the T. And please subscribe for more content, more valuable, educative, informative, fun, and awesome content as this. And I'll see you later. This has been Dr. Ann. Tune in later. Bye. Thank you for watching. What will the people say? What do you as an individual think? What do you have to say? Bridge the gap. Compromise.